Good afternoon, Houston. Meteorologist Kim Castro back here checking radar and wanting to give you an update as to how our severe threat is unfolding this afternoon. So far, these storms are riding our edge right now, still just out of the viewing area, but a lot of intensity with these thunderstorms. We've got severe thunderstorm warnings up. We've got tornado warnings up, and this continues to slide just north of us. So here's the situation right now. A tornado warning just issued for Crockett. So this is the northern portion of Houston County. This is away from southeast Texas, but again, a very, very close distance away from us. So we'll be watching if any of these storms decide to turn a little bit. We'll give you an update. But for now, the storms continue to lift to the north. This particular track is going to be impacting Alto, Polk, in these time frames. So Pollock by around 2:45 and then moving on to Mount Enterprise by 3:16. Again, this is traveling to the north and east. So more tornado warnings that have popped up. A little bit further to our north, another one there for the Freestone area. These are radar indicated tornado warnings, means there's no confirmation on the ground, but we are tracking a lot of spin in the atmosphere. So here's a look at the rotation detector. This is velocity. You'll notice there are several couplets within that line that is pushing just north of us. So because of that, we've got the threat for severe weather throughout the remainder of the afternoon and evening. Hail tracks so far have died down, so they really blew up just past the I-35 corridor for a brief period of time this early afternoon, right around lunchtime, and they've since taken a back seat. The main focal point right now is going to be the threat for wind and wind that veers, so tornado potential. Right now we're watching this line, but there's also some activity trying to develop along the I-35 corridor. It's died down a little bit, so this is going to be the main area of concern here. Look at the charge on this thing. I mean, about 4,000 lightning strikes in just the last 10 minutes. This extends from just east of Austin all the way into Dallas. That's where all the energy is focused right now. A weather impact alert is in effect for us here in Houston today for the threat of some of these storms dipping down just a little further south. I mean, it's really, we're talking about a marginal distance between where the severe thunderstorms and the tornado warnings are and where we are. So keep an eye on radar, as I will be doing throughout the afternoon and evening. The severe threat could look like this. So over the next couple of hours, we'll be watching for some of these storms to develop west of us and then wanting to push closer towards the city center. So that could be a snapshot right at 3:30. If this line doesn't materialize, there's another potential for this late afternoon into the evening hours. So this would impact your commute. This would impact plans this evening. Just be flexible today and be sure to have a way to receive alerts. Download the KHOU app, turn those notifications on. So if we do start to see more development a little further south near Houston, we could send some warnings to you. More development expected again tomorrow morning and even into tomorrow night. This is a very active pattern for us. The energy, the upper level low, is slow moving. And so for that reason, there's a several day span that we have to watch radar. So we watched it yesterday, we're watching it today, we'll watch it again tomorrow. Severe risk for today is a level 3. This is a 1 to 5 scale, so it's considerable. And notice it drops all the way down to Houston, so along the I-10 corridor. I know most of the action is happening right here along Bryan College Station for the time being, but the severe threat does extend far south into Houston. So for that reason, we're under a tornado watch until 4 o'clock in this afternoon. It's possible this gets extended later, especially as we're seeing those future track models wanting to bring in a second burst of energy this evening. So in addition to the tornado possibility, we've seen the threat for hail, and we will continue to monitor the threat for straight line wind up to 70 miles an hour. The setup in the atmosphere is as such. So we at the surface have wind that's coming in out of the southeast. So that's injecting a lot of moisture. Then at the mid levels of the atmosphere, so 18,000 feet, wind is in a different direction. So it's out of the southwest. So you can imagine why that's creating spin in the atmosphere. So that is why the biggest concern for today today is going to be the potential for tornadoes, and there's fuel for that even into tonight. A 10% chance to an elevated risk to see not just a spin up, but maybe even a possibility of an EF2 tornado. That's going to be for this hatched area. So the area that includes Huntsville, Conroe, the Woodlands, Spring, even down to the northern portion of the Beltway, even the Loop potentially. The further south that you go, the threat for tornadoes diminishes, but it's still there. It's a 5%. EF2, what is the breakdown for that? So 111 to 135 miles an hour. That is a considerable tornado that could do a lot of damage. So let's refresh on what we should do if we do see a warning pop up in our neck of the woods. You need to get to the lowest level of your home, and you need to get to an interior portion of the home. So it doesn't have to be a bedroom. It could be a closet. It could be a bathroom. It could be, playroom that you have with the kids. You just want to be as far away from the exterior walls and windows as you can. And it's pretty self-explanatory. If we do have either a severe thunderstorm warning or a tornado warning, the damage would be more considerable around the perimeter of the house, and then you'd have more layers before you see any impacts towards you. So that's something that you should just have there ready to go in case we do have a warning that's issued here. Hail threat for today is highest in this hatched area. So that includes Columbus, that includes Waller County, Washington, Austin, Grimes, Northwest Harris County, Montgomery, Walker, San Jacinto, Polk. So a good chunk of us. Think of just the north and west side. That has the biggest threat to see some sizable hail up to and maybe even a little larger than 2 inches in diameter, which would be golf ball sized hail. Wind threat for today is for everybody, but there's a special focus on the northeast side at this point. So think northwest side for the tornado threat and northeast side for the straight line wind threat. But we all have a severe risk. And the risk for flooding is there too. So excessive rain isn't a severe weather component, but it's certainly a component that could cause a lot of issues, and it could be threatening as well. So the flood risk is something to take pretty seriously as well, especially if you had any travel planned to the northeast side of town or even extending into Louisiana. That is where the biggest threat lies. It's a 3 on the 1 to 4 scale. And those spots that are highlighted in red there could see flash flood warnings. We've just seen a lot of rain over the last couple of days, so it's no surprise that additional rainfall that's going to fall today and tomorrow is going to cause issues. Otherwise, it's a level 2 threat for Houston, which is still pretty elevated, and a special emphasis on our northern cities and counties. So the areas highlighted in green here are under a flood watch. So that is Washington County, that is Grimes, that is Montgomery, Walker, San Jacinto, Polk, Liberty. So again, the further north that you go, you kind of have all of the ingredients on the table. You've got all the severe components, and you've got the excessive rainfall potential, 3 to 6 inches possible today, which is why that flood watch has been issued. Ongoing storms expected not just for this afternoon and again this evening. We will continue to see more rounds of rain tomorrow morning, more rounds of rain tomorrow night, and even into your early Thursday, we could see a couple of isolated storms. Most of Friday's activity, I think, rides very close to the coastline and mostly offshore, and so for that reason we'll start to scale back on the rain potential as we head into the end of the work week. But for now, the start of the work week has been extremely active. Today is no different. In fact, today's severe potential is there. Now, just because we haven't seen any activity here just yet doesn't mean we won't later on today. This is a waiting game. We got to watch radar. We are right on the edge of the severe threat. So that's why you can't really rule out the possibility because we haven't seen it just yet. It's only almost 1:40 in the afternoon. We still have a long way to go. So that's why we have a weather impact alert. It's an 80% chance. All the ingredients are there. We've got moisture in place. We've got an unstable atmosphere. We've got veering with height, so wind that is changing with height. And so that's why today's a really good idea to watch these updates. We're going to have them every hour on the not on the hour, at the 30 markers. So 1:30 was this update. We'll have another one at 2:30 and so on and so forth. Okay, tomorrow it's a red day. It's not a weather impact alert day because I think the severe threat tomorrow goes down. But because we have a lot of rain potential still for tomorrow, it's a 70% chance there. We keep this day under at least a watchful eye. Then as those storm potentials go way down, 30% on Thursday, 20% on Friday, we can get back to business. And in fact, this weekend will be a lot nicer. It's Mother's Day weekend, so at least we're getting the storm threat out of the way now and we can relax this weekend. Okay, this is going to conclude our 10-minute update. We are watching radar really closely. If there's a warning that comes up in Southeast Texas, in our area, this includes Brenham, this includes Huntsville, this includes Colorado counties, anywhere. If we see any of these warnings pop up in the area, we will do another of these updates and show you how things are unfolding. But for now, please keep up with the forecast, check your phone, and please stay safe out there.